Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is Krystal. You are ready. I can feel it. Thank you so much for joining me again for another TRX for Yoga experience. This is week 3, and you know what that means. We finally get to put together our entire flow. We had one more section to add, and today is the day we're going to do it. Here's what I want you to know. That flow will be done at mid-calf length. We're not going to go there for a little while, but up until this point, we have accessed our core with our hands. By leveraging the straps with our hands and the foot cradles, today, now we're going to access the core with our feet, putting one foot into both foot cradles at certain points of time. So before we get started, I want you to have a couple of props with you today. If you don't have them, that's okay. They're optional, but they may really assist you when we get to that final section that we're adding in today. The first is a towel. And the towel can be used for a couple different things. We're going to do an arm bind where we interlace our hands behind our low back. And you may want to use a towel at whatever width necessary so that you can do so without pain in your shoulders. Other reason that you can use a towel is you can place it down to the ground for some extra cushion underneath your knees as we will be kneeling on the floor. Also, yoga blocks. We're going to be accessing some really deep hip opening and hamstring stretches. So if you have blocks, definitely grab them. If not, no worries. You can grab a couple more towels, roll a towel up so that you can prop your hands up a little bit. If you have a hard-covered book, think dictionary or something like that, you can grab a couple books to do so. So anything just to allow you to ease into that pose without forcing. Once you have that stuff, you can go ahead and place them to the back upper corner, whatever corner you decide, of your mat. And we'll be using them in a little while. So let's begin. Please bring your suspension trainer fully shortened. Stand facing your anchor point with your hands in those foot cradles and walk backwards, hands at waist height. Bring your big toes to touch, heels in line with your middle toes. If that bothers your low back, bring your feet hips width apart. Drive straight down into your hands to access your core. Feel your chest lift away from your hips and your head move away from your shoulders. Find your starting position, extended mountain. Sweep your arms overhead, palms face that anchor point. Move your body forward or backwards so that you are not leaning. Wrists stacked over shoulders, hips, knees, and ankles. Unlock your elbows, unlock your knees. You want to keep your joints soft, but stay active in the muscle. Contract. Slowly bring your arms back down to the starting position. And let's begin sequence 1 with our warm-up, the vinyasa, comprised of 4 movements. Extended mountain, breathe in, pull back. Forward fold, hinge at your hips and press into those hands. Halfway lift, press into your hands and draw your chest forward and up. Feel that side body stretch. Forward fold. And that's our 4-part movement. Now let's focus on breath, connecting with that movement. Extended mountain, breathe all the way in. Forward fold, breathe all the way out, belly draws in. Halfway lift, inhale, breathe until you can't breathe in anymore. Forward fold, push all that air out. Begin again, extended mountain, pull and rise. Forward fold, push and hinge. Halfway lift, expand as you breathe in. Forward fold, push and breathe out. Last time, extended mountain. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Slowly stand all the way up. Turn to face away from your anchor point. Hands at eyebrow height. Find your balance on your left foot and draw your right knee into your chest. Let's begin our second sequence. TRX airplane. Hinge at your hips, reach your upper leg and your 2 hands to the wall behind you. We're going to hold each pose for about 3 to 5 breaths. Take your upper baby toe, spin it down to face the ground. Drive your upper heel to the wall behind you and slide those hip bones up towards the belly button. Now press into your hands, lift your whole body higher, breathe in. Back to your starting position, arms up overhead, right knee into chest. Crescent lunge, lift up onto the ball of your standing foot. Press into your hands and slowly roll yourself forward. Biceps to ears, feel that active plank. Extend your right leg long out in front of you. Plant it to the floor in a lunge position. Bend your front knee to 90 degrees. Soften in your back knee. Push into your hands to move your shoulders over those hips. Every inhale, you expand, reach your hands high towards the ceiling. Exhale, sink into your legs a little more. Inhale, fill up. Exhale, contract. Stay low in your legs. Reach your hands as high as they go. Exhale, twist, revolving crescent lunge. Drop your right arm by your side. Look over your right shoulder. Press into your back hand and slide your hip bones up towards the belly button. Once you have that neutral pelvis, lean into your upper hand and push your hands away from one another. Fill up your lungs. Twist and empty. One more, breathe in. Twist and breathe out. Arms back up overhead, warrior two. Place the foot cradles into your left hand. Reach both arms up as you inhale. T, open your arms, drop your back heel towards the middle of your body. Gaze over your right middle finger. Move your feet so that you can bend your front knee to 90 degrees and squeeze that back leg towards straight. Stack your shoulders over your hips. Use your back hand and lift your chest up away from the pelvis. One more, fill up, expand through your spine. Exhale, sink into your legs a little deeper. Stay low in your legs, reverse your warrior. Flip your right palm to the ceiling. Reach your right arm up and back as you slide into that back hand. Press your hand into the straps and lift up for 5. Slide your shoulder blades together. 4, every exhale, I want you to sink into your front leg a little more. 3, every inhale, you reach higher. 2, warrior 2. Crescent lunge, both arms up overhead, lift your back heel up. One hand per foot cradle, step back to your starting position. Let's repeat on the other side. Find your balance on your right foot. Pull your left knee into your chest. On an inhale, push into your hands. TRX airplane, hinge at your hips. Extend your upper leg to the wall behind you, 2 arms by your sides. Fan out your fingers and toes. Soften your standing knee so you have access to the rest of your body. Square your hips and shoulders to the floor. Now get long. Push the crown of your head away from your shoulders and push your upper heel to the wall behind you. Fill up. Return to your starting position. Left knee to chest, arms up overhead. Crescent lunge, lift up onto the ball of your standing foot. Slowly, I want you to feel this core challenge. Roll into your hands. Push into them. Biceps to ears. Extend your left leg long out in front of you. Plant that left foot to the floor. Find your lunge position. Softness in that back knee. Slide the hip bones up towards the belly button. Now push into your hands. Shoulders move back over hips as you bend your front knee more. Push into your hands. Reach them up. Breathe in. Sink into your legs. Breathe out. Lengthen and strengthen. Inhale. Sink into those legs. Exhale. I want you to stay low in your legs. Reach your arms high. Revolving crescent lunge. Drop your left arm by your side and twist. Press into that back hand to create a neutral pelvis. Then lean into that upper hand. Lift your back heel away from the floor on purpose. Ignite your whole body. Push your hands away from one another. Breathe in. Twist and breathe out. Come back to center, both arms up overhead. Warrior 2, foot cradles into your right hand. Breathe in. T, open your arms. Drop your back heel towards the middle of your body. Gaze over your left middle finger. Slide into that back hand so your shoulders stack over your hips. You're pressing into both feet equally, but you're bending your front knee to 90 degrees as you squeeze your back leg towards straight. Push your hands away from one another as you slide your shoulders together onto your back. Now there's something in your back hand. Pretend there's that same something underneath your front hand and press down to lift up. That's the active nature of this practice. Reverse your warrior. Flip your left palm to the ceiling. Reach your left arm up. Press into your back hand to lift your chest up out of your pelvis. Bend into that front knee for 5. 4, search for that side body stretch on the left hand side. 3, press into your feet a little more. 2, warrior 2. Crescent lunge, lift your back heel up off the ground, both arms up overhead. One hand per foot cradle. Step back, feet together. Turn around to face your anchor point. Great work. Let's vinyasa, clear it away. Extended mountain. If there's slack, you move back. Forward fold, anchor your heels and push into your hands. Halfway lift, breathe in. Fold, breathe out, moving on to the next sequence. Chair, bend your knees, drop your hips. Drag your shoulders up and back over your pelvis. Imagine you're going to separate the floor with your heels. Your heels are in line with your middle toe. They don't move, but you're pulling your feet away from one another to feel your leg muscles ignite. Sweep your arms up overhead. Reach your hands high as you inhale. Sink your hips low, bend your knees as you exhale. 2 more, inhale. Sink your hips, exhale. Fill your lungs all the way up. Forward fold, release, great work. Single leg mountain, sweep your right leg forward. Take a deep breath in, lift that leg high. Standing figure 4, bend your upper knee and cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Sweep your arms down. Press into your hands to lift your sternum away from the tailbone. Bend into your standing knee. Sink your hips down and back. Flex your upper foot and draw your upper knee towards the floor. Open up your right hip. Square your hips towards the anchor point. Draw your left hip back, right hip forward just a little. Option to stay here or hinge. Shift your hips to the wall behind you as you reach your hands towards the anchor point. Look down to the ground, lengthen the back of your neck. Your standing leg should be on fire. You're strengthening that leg, so you're going to want to straighten it, but don't. Every exhale, sink in a little more. You got this. You have just 1 more deep breath in. Fold deeper, breathe out. Standing leg raise, press into your hands. Stand up, right knee to chest. Place the foot cradles into your left hand. Grab the outside of your right knee with your right hand. Option to hook your big toe with your first 2 fingers and extend your upper leg long out in front of you. You do not have to straighten that upper leg totally. Keep the knee soft. Push your upper leg forward and draw your upper arm bones back. Right leg over to the right. Keep your shoulders and hips square to that anchor point. Softness in your standing knee and create a neutral pelvis, hip bones to belly button, tailbone to the ground. Press that left hand into the straps. Lift your whole body higher. Breathe in. Bring your upper leg back to center. Extend your upper leg to the wall in front of you. Reach your right arm to the ceiling. Fill your lungs. Half moon, right hand to your right hip as you hinge. Look down to the ground to help you balance. Peel your right hip up and back over your left hip. Reach your right arm to the ceiling. Embrace those wobbles. Keep your gaze steady. Fan out your fingers. Fan out your toes. Press through your upper heel. Ignite your upper leg. Whatever you're pressing down into, your left hand, your left foot, lift your whole body higher. Triangle, close your grip on the straps. Slowly float your upper foot to the floor behind you. Stand up. Step your left foot forward. You want a big gap between your feet. Your left foot is facing the anchor point. Toes of your back foot, if there's a clock around your waist, are facing anywhere between 3 and 1. Hinge, press your hips away from the anchor point as you reach your left arm towards that anchor point. Left thumb spins up to the ceiling. Left upper arm bone hugs into the shoulder socket. Right arm can reach up to the ceiling. Tuck your bottom hip under, roll your top hip back. Every exhale, use your front foot and push your hips further away from that anchor point. 1 more breath in. Roll your upper hip back, breathe out. Press into your left hand, stand up. 1 foot cradle per hand. Step your feet together facing that anchor point. Vinyasa, let's clear it away. Extended mountain. If there's slack, you move back. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold, big toes touch, heels in line with your middle toes. TRX chair, bend your knees, drop your hips. Sweep your arms up overhead. Remember, let your hands go as wide as they need to keep your shoulders away from your ears. Separate the floor with your heels. For 5, every exhale, you bend your knees a little more. 4, every inhale, you pull your hands back and reach them up. 3, you can do this, sink a little lower. 2, take a deep breath in. Forward fold, release. Single leg mountain, arms up, sweep your left leg forward. Kick your upper heel forward, breathe in. Standing figure 4, bend your left knee, cross your left ankle over your right thigh, bring your arms back down. Press down into your hands to keep that chest lifted. Bend into your standing knee, drop your hips down and back. Draw your right hip back, left hip forward. You want to keep that upper foot flexed to protect your left knee, but then gently work your left knee towards the floor. Open up the left hip. Stay here or hinge. Press your hips back as you reach your arms forward. This is going to deepen the stretch. It's not necessary. Definitely you don't want to force. And you know you're forcing if you can't breathe that deep, rich Ujjayi breath. Take one more breath in. Press your hips back a little further. Breathe out. Standing leg raise. Press into your hands, left knee to chest. Put the foot cradles into your right hand. Grab the outside of your left knee with your left hand. Option to hook your big toe with your first 2 fingers and extend your upper leg long out in front of you. Draw your upper arm bones to the wall behind you and your lower belly pulls into the spine. Use the straps to keep your chest lifted. Left leg draws over to the left. Hips and shoulders square to that anchor point. Standing knee is soft. Hip bones slide up to belly button. Breathe loud, breathe deep. Slowly bring your upper leg back to center. Extend your left leg long out in front of you. Reach your left arm high, breathe in. Half moon, left hand to your left hip and hinge. Look down to the ground. Roll your left hip up and over your right hip. Option to reach your left arm to the ceiling. For 5, soften that standing knee. 4, tuck your bottom hip under more. 3, breathe. 2, lift higher. Triangle, close your grip, bend your right elbow and float your upper foot to the floor behind you. Stand up. Left hand to your left hip, hop your right foot forward, big gap between your feet. Take your body so it's side facing the anchor point. Your right foot faces the anchor point. The toes of your back foot face anywhere between 9 and 11. So it's a side facing hinge. Soften your front knee and push your hips away from that anchor point. Spin your right thumb towards the ceiling. Draw your right upper arm bone into the shoulder socket. Tuck your bottom hip under, roll your top hip back. Option to reach your left arm to the sky. Every exhale, you push your hips towards the wall behind you a little more, but you don't force your right leg straight. Keep the knee soft. One more breath in. Roll your upper hip back a little more. Breathe out. Press into your right hand. Stand up. One hand per foot cradle. Step your feet together. Let's vinyasa. Clear it away. Extended mountain. Move back if there's slack. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Fold. Slowly stand all the way up. Keep your arms low. And step forward towards that anchor point. It's time to add our final sequence. Grab onto the D rings or pinch the cam buckles in and come down to mid-calf length. Pull the handles right below the kneecap. Foot cradles, hover to mid-calf. You're going to come ground facing away from your anchor point. So come on to both knees. And you want your suspension trainer just behind you. So you're kneeling, your knees are maybe about a foot to 18 inches in front of your straps. You're going to take your left foot and put it through both foot cradles. Bring your hands down to the ground. So now you're in your hands and knees. And step your right foot to your right hand. TRX Humble Warrior. Now at this point, you might want the towel, and you can put one of your towels underneath your knee for more cushion. And or, you might have more than one towel, you're going to use the towel for the bind. Bring your right hand to your right knee. Left hand on top of that, stack your shoulders over your hips. Already you probably feel that nice hip flexor stretch there. Once again, pull the hip bones up to the belly button, drop your tailbone to the ground. Interlace your hands behind your low back. This is where the towel might come in handy. Draw your arms towards straight. Lift your chest up, breathe in. Drop your chest to the inside of your front thigh. And remember I said, this is the time where now it's your feet That is in charge of activating your core. So press down into both of your feet. Option to float your back knee up off the ground. No hanging in the straps. You press down to lift up for 5. Reach your arms to the wall behind you. 4, press your head away from your shoulders. 3, belly in. 2, TRX half split. Bring your back knee to the ground, hands to either side of your front foot. This is where the blocks might come in handy. Bring one book or block underneath each hand and start to sit your hips back towards your left heel. Work your right leg towards straight and pick the ball of your right foot up off the floor. Blocks by your sides, right next to your hips. Hands on the blocks are going to help you create a flat back. Shoulder blades together, lower belly in. And you hinge, fold over your front thigh. Get that nice stretch in your right hamstring. And breathe. Draw your right hip back, left hip forward. And the option to use the blocks, again, is to create that nice flat back. So if you round through your shoulders, you lose the stretch in the hamstring. Flat back to increase the stretch. Take one more breath in. Drop your chest towards your right leg. Breathe out. Standing quad stretch. Slowly come back up. You can leave the blocks where they are. Actually, move them off to the side just a little. Walk your hands to either side of your front foot. Press into your right foot and stand up. Draw your left knee forward to the height of your hip. Reach your left hand back. Grab the straps. Grab as low to the handles as you can. Start to draw your left knee back in line with your right knee and grab onto the straps with your right hand as well. Kneecaps are in line with one another. Elbows hug together behind you. Push your left knee down towards the floor as you slide your hip bones up towards the belly button. You're pulling your hands up towards your low back as you push your left knee down to the ground. Feel that nice deep stretch through the left thigh. Take one more breath in. Deep breath out. Slowly release. Keep the tension in your back foot. Keep pressing into the straps. And slowly come all the way down to the ground, bending your knees. Bring your hands to the inside of your right foot for runner's lunge. For this first time, bring your back knee to the ground. Make sure your right foot is flat on the floor. Use your hands to pull your chest away from your hips. And there's an option. You can always keep your back knee on the ground or float that back knee right up off the mat. Hip bones slide up to belly button. So maybe you look here for a second. Watch my hips. This is hanging on the straps. It might feel good in the moment, but over time, your joints let you know that they're unhappy with you. So no going passive, no hanging. You press into your feet to access your core. Neutral pelvis, active plank. Extended side angle. Let me show you first with the back knee on the ground. Press your right knee into your right arm. Fire up your inner thigh muscles. Bring your left hand to your left hip and roll your shoulder up and back. Left shoulder over the right shoulder. Option to reach your left arm to the ceiling. So you can stay here with your back knee on the ground or come back to your starting position with me. Squeeze your back leg towards straight. Right up off the ground you go. Press your right knee into your right arm. Bring your left hand to your left hip. Now roll your back foot in the foot cradles so it's facing the direction you're going. Left shoulder rolls up and back. You're pressing into the arch of your left foot. Option to reach your left arm to the ceiling. Take your gaze to your upper hand. Keep pressing your right knee into your right arm. Reach your upper hand to the sky just a little higher. Upper hand down to the ground. Spin your back foot in the foot cradles. Bring your back knee to the mat. Breathe. Bring both knees down to the ground. Fallen triangle. Hands underneath your shoulders. Come into that plank position. Breathe your breath. Press your left foot down into the straps to hover your right foot up off the floor. Draw your right knee into your chest. Sweep it to your left elbow and extend your right leg towards straight, as close to that left foot as you can get it. Pivot your back foot into the foot cradles and reach your left arm up to the ceiling. This is a big core challenge. Press into both feet in your bottom hand and breathe your breath. Open up your chest, open up your hips. Take one more deep breath in. Upper hand to the ground. Rotate your back foot in those foot cradles. So now you're pressing where the shoelaces would be. Hug your right knee into your chest. Foot to floor. Knees to the ground. Keep that left foot in the straps. Come into a modified child's pose. Good work. And extend your arms out in front of you, forehead to the floor. Take one deep breath in. Clear it away. Slowly come back up onto your hands and knees. We get to do this all on the other side. Humble warrior. So you're going to take your right foot, slide your right foot into the foot cradles and your left foot out. Step your left foot to the outside of your left hand. Left hand to your left knee. Right hand on top of that. Stack your shoulders over your hips. You may decide to stay right here. This is a beautiful stretch. Interlace your hands behind your low back. If you're coming into humble warrior, don't be afraid to use that towel. Pull your arms low to open your chest. Breathe in. Drop your chest to the inside of your front thigh. Press into that left foot like you're about to stand up on it. Option to lift your back knee right up off the ground. Shoulders and hips square to the anchor point. Ground down into your feet to activate your core. Reach your hands to the wall behind you as you push the crown of your head away from your shoulders. Take one more deep breath in. Release your bind, hands to the ground on either side of your front foot. Back knee to the ground, half split. Sit your hips towards your right heel. Don't be afraid to grab your blocks or books, bring them next to your hips. Flex your left foot, pull the ball of your left foot up off the floor. Take a deep breath in, lengthen your spine, and hinge, drop your chest forward. If your hamstrings are open, you can walk your hands forward and get that deeper stretch. Remember, it's less about forcing the leg straight and more about maintaining that flat back. Shoulder blades together, lower belly in will enhance the stretch through the hamstring. Every time you inhale, pull your chest away from your hips. And every time you exhale, fold and contract a little deeper. Take one more deep breath in. Fold, breathe out. TRX quad stretch. Slowly come to a half kneeling position. Hands on either side of your left foot. Press down into your left foot and stand up. Draw your right knee forward to the height of your hip. Reach your right hand back and grab as close to the handles as you can. Grab on with your left hand as well and draw your right knee back in line with your left knee. Elbows hug together. Your hands are drawing your foot up towards your tailbone as you push your right knee to the ground. This is very active. You're going to feel that nice stretch all the way down the front side of your right thigh, right through the quadricep. Let your collarbone separate and push the crown of your head away from your shoulders. Breathe. Every inhale you expand, and every exhale you contract and you feel that stretch a little deeper. One more deep breath in. Deep breath out, release, come back to your starting position. Slowly lower down to runner's lunge, bending both knees. Keep the tension in the straps, hands to the inside of the left foot. Now you bring your back knee to the ground because you may want to heel toe your left foot over to the left 1 or 2 times. So your hands are underneath your shoulders. With your left foot flat on the floor, draw your chest away from your pelvis. Option to always bring that towel underneath your back knee for cushion. Stay here, press into your back foot, and lift your back knee up off the ground. Pull the crown of your head away from your shoulders. Stack your left knee over your left heel. Remember, no hanging on those straps, so you press into your feet to lift. Strengthen as much as you lengthen. Extended side angle. Press your left knee into your left arm. Rotate your back foot in the foot cradle. So now the arch of your back foot is pressing into the straps. Right hand to your right hip and roll your right shoulder up and back. Option to reach your right arm to the ceiling. Press into your feet like crazy for 5. 4, every inhale, reach your right hand a little higher. 3, tuck your bottom hip under. 2, upper hand to the ground, back foot pivots in the foot cradles, back knee to the ground. Both knees to the mat. Fall in triangle. This is it. Hands underneath your shoulders. Come into a plank position, right foot in the straps, left foot on the ground. Push into your hands. Push into your right foot. Lift your left foot up off the ground. Draw your left knee into your chest. Left knee to right elbow. Kick your left leg straight, as close to that right hand as you can get it. Rotate your back foot in the straps. And reach your right arm up to the ceiling. Slide those shoulder blades together. Keep pressing into those feet for 5. You can do this. 4, pull your chest forward over your bottom hand. 3, reach up higher. 2, upper hand to the ground, back foot pivots in those foot cradles. Left knee to chest, foot to floor, knees to mat. Child's pose. Extend your arms long out in front of you. Bring your forehead to the ground. Ooh. Take a deep breath in. Let it all go. And slowly come up onto your hands and knees. Release your foot from the foot cradles and turn to face your anchor point. And you've made it. Last and final series, our cool down. Sit with your legs extended long out in front of you. Feet underneath your anchor point. Point your finger and middle finger into those foot cradles and separate them. Lean back just a little bit. Draw your left knee into your chest and slide your left foot through the foot cradle. Extend your leg long. Left hand to the ground, lean into your left hip. Hug your right knee into your chest and slide your right foot through the foot cradle. Hook the heels through. Extend both legs long out in front of you. Handles are equal. I want you to keep your feet flexed. Don't let your feet relax. Flex them. Push your heels forward. Pull your toes into your body. Reach your arms up to the ceiling. Take a deep breath in. Seated forward fold. Soften behind your knees and hinge at your hips. Reach for the yellow TRX tabs. Remember the rule to stretch out the back of those legs. Soften your knees and create a flat back. Fill your lungs to lengthen the spine. Empty your lungs to fold deeper. Fill up. Empty out. One more deep breath in. Deep breath out. Sit up nice and tall, arms to the sky. Seated spinal twist. Bring your right hand by your side. Bend your right knee. Bring your left elbow to the outside of your right knee. Press your knee into your arm. Lift your chest up as you inhale. Look over your right shoulder and twist as you exhale. One final rinse before our Shavasana. Take one more deep breath in. Twist and breathe out. Come back to center, arms up. Switch sides. Bend your left knee, left hand to the ground. Right elbow to the outside of your left knee. Push your knee into your arm and your feet are still active, dorsiflexion. Look over your left shoulder and twist. Breathe as deep as you can. In, feel your body expand. And out, get that good juicy rinse. One more, breathe in. Twist and breathe out. Come back to center, arms up. Press your heels to the wall in front of you. Squeeze the muscles in your legs. Squeeze the muscles in your arms and reach your hands to the ceiling. Stay engaged. Final effort, slowly roll all the way down to the ground. Push your heels forward as you roll back. Keep pressing forward, keep the tension in the straps. Belly pulls in. Slowly reach your arms to the floor behind you. Press down into your feet, lift your hips up off the floor. Supine stretch. From your fingertips to your toe tips, lengthen your whole body. Take one more deep breath in. Hips down to the ground. Arms by your sides, palms face up. Here we are. TRX Shavasana. Let your feet fall away from one another. Let your whole body relax. Through your nose, take a deep breath in. Open your mouth and sigh it out. The only thing to do here is rest. I'll mind the time and bring us out when it's appropriate. Your feet elevated above your hips and your heart helps promote circulation. The essence of your feet and the straps is meant to enhance the sense of relaxation. If you feel anything other than, You're welcome to bring your feet to the floor. Just let it all go. Nothing left to do but rest. Through your nose, take a deep breath in. Open your mouth and sigh it out. You're going to sway your feet side to side. Not a lot of control, just something that feels good. Begin to reawaken your body. And bring your legs back to center. Hug your knees into your chest. And with your fingertips, slide the foot cradles off of your feet. Slowly roll over onto your right hand side. Keep your eyes closed. And rest your right ear on your right arm. Be here a moment. So often we'll finish our fitness routines, put a check mark next to it, and sprint off to the next task of the day. Allow yourself to be here. Recognize how you feel. And acknowledge yourself for all of your hard work. Keeping your eyes closed, slowly make your way to a comfortable sitting position. And sit nice and tall. Bring your hands on your knees. And let's seal our time together with one more deep breath through your nose. Breathe all the way in. Open your mouth and sigh it out. Slowly open your eyes. And your practice is complete. Wonderful job. Thank you so much again for joining me this week. You did it. You have completed the entire TRX for Yoga Flow. I want you to focus on hydration, support all of your efforts in feeling well. Ease back into your day. You deserve to feel good. You have not only gained access to more mobility and flexibility in your body, but you strengthened all at the same time. You're building this true resilience in your body. I'm so proud of you. I hope that you smile and feel good the rest of your day. And a little peek into next week. Have you ever considered that you can add a little bit of a fitness component to your yoga practice, or vice versa? And so you know that we hold each yoga pose for about 3 to 5 breaths. We're going to introduce some traditional fitness exercises, TRX style, 3 to 5 reps intertwined throughout the flow. I cannot wait. It's going to be so much fun. I want to invite you to do this practice one more time. Really embody it. Let it ingrain in your body so you'll be prepared to layer on next week. Until then, keep smiling, feel good, and I look forward to working out with you again. Thank you.